Hello, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII. Now before I continue, I just gotta say something quickly. Lately I've been having some trouble with the actual disc of Final Fantasy XIII. Been getting some cutscene skipping and the game freezes sometimes, stuff like that. So it's been a bit of a pain to record things. So if suddenly these videos stop coming out, it's because I can't get the game to work. If the game completely stops functioning, I'm just gonna skip to 13.2 I guess, and then I don't know, do a recap or something. I'll figure it out when I get to that. So far I've been able to just get it to work by scrubbing it or something like that. And there's no scratches or anything, it's just little smudges. I just can't get them off for some reason. Anyways. Ravagers. At least with Hope in your group, it's a bit better because he is the best Ravager, period, but Saz and Vanille aren't. It's kind of weird, like, a place like this in most games wouldn't really be visually striking. But that's just one of the good things about this game, in my opinion, is that, and also really any Final Fantasy, after I think maybe Final Fantasy III, like everything after the NES basically, they started getting this fantastic design going. Everything is always so well done in that regard. It's not just that the graphics are good, everything has this real nice, really well thought out, real purposeful design. Like, it's like the things will actually be relevant to the world that they're created in, that kind of thing. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to explain, but I don't know, it's like, this is a junkyard. In most places this would just be grey, bland, brown, there wouldn't be much going on. But this has all sorts of little like splashes of colors, interesting looking debris even. Anyways, Lightning's back. See what I mean when I said it's completely pointless that she left? Like, there was no good reason behind this. But yeah, now you have Lightning back. See? And yeah, you got a commando. Everything's better now. Don't you love Lightning? Best character of the year ever. Yeah, you're gonna notice now battle's gonna go by a lot more smoothly because Lightning's there to stabilize the chain gauge. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Lightning kind of, why do they have to make her so, I mean, kind of moving away from like this game now and going into like Lightning Returns and stuff like that, but what made her so special? Nothing to it. I hear she's bigger in Japan, but not as big as the developers would like you to believe, which I guess is true for anything really, but I don't know, it's just like, what is it? What's the appeal here? Why is there such an aggressive force going to try and make me like her? I don't know. I just got an Ember Ring there. Final Fantasy isn't subtle. That's just going to be a useful item for the next major fight, so equip it if you want. You don't need to, but it'll make things easier a bit. Reduces fire damage by 20% and can be upgraded. And cutscene time.
What is that?
Pulse armament.
Yay, more pointlessly stubby
That's
robots.
bad for us, isn't it?
You have eyes, don't you?
Yes, now it's time for a boss fight. And it's a pretty standard thing here. It's not really that tough, it doesn't have that much HP, it doesn't have that high of a chain threshold, and the attacks aren't that powerful. So yeah, it's kind of not that much of a threat. To make things go by a bit smoother, it's a good idea to have Vanille sabotage while Saz buffs everyone up, and then I'll just have Lightning run interference with whatever rule you want. And yeah, that'll be the nail in the coffin really, it'll make it go by that much smoother. doesn't really need to, but anyways. Another benefit to getting Vanille to use Sabotage is that then it will cause the Dreadnought to enter a mode called Steam Clean, which will take a very, very long time where it can take no action, and then it will remove one of the debuffs. So basically, it sacrifices tons of time to be spent doing attacks and like fighting back in some way, just so it can remove one of the debuffs on it, and it makes the fight even easier. It is vulnerable to both D-Shell and D-Protect, which will affect the AI if you use Auto Battle. If it only D-Shell or D-Protect is on, then the characters will use whatever it's more more vulnerable to. Not really for, like, even if it's not their specialty. Like, a character with terrible magic will still use magic if they have D-Shell, that kind of thing.
Incoming.
But yeah, time for Phase 2. This is a harder version, but still not really that hard. Has more HP and a few new attacks. But yeah, ultimately still the same. I don't really get, like, I don't know, I can understand when you fight a human opponent in an RPG or any game, really. Yeah, the second phase is stronger because it's like, oh yeah, they're releasing their latent power or something like that. But with a machine, it can't really make that decision. It should only ever just be attacking. Like, what stopped it from using its flamethrower? Did it have a safety on or something like that? Like, does being attacked make it go into a secondary, more powerful attack mode or something? Anyways, same weaknesses apply. It can be debuffed. You want to buff your party to speed things up. And its most devastating move is Wrecking Ball. And it lives up to its name. Wrecking Ball can be very devastating, so watch out for that. As usual, it still has the Steam Clean weakness. Yeah, and it has the flamethrower, as we saw earlier, and that's where the Ember Ring comes in. Yeah, so it has more HP, so it's going to take longer to take out, which means that a medic is useful in this match. I didn't have to heal at all last time, but it's still really not that tough of a fight. It's kind of strange. Still, it's a very low stagger threshold, and once it's staggering, it staggers, and you can cancel its attacks and stuff like that if you hit it right. It's making like a train sound, I just noticed. I don't know, it's kind of putting me off. But yeah, you see there, it just devastated my party there. So yeah, I had to use a Phoenix Down. Phoenix Down is actually kind of a bit different from how they usually work in Final Fantasy. Because, really, there was a massive problem in previous Final Fantasy games where Phoenix Down could revive a person with way too little health, and they just die. So now it's, I believe, percentage based, or at least it scales with your characters to get more health. But yeah, that's about really all there is to say about this fight. It does actually follow a pattern, which I can't completely recall. I believe it has 3 attacks followed by a Wrecking Ball. So if you want to try and sort of preempt that kind of thing, then you can do that. Unfortunately, there's no sentinels in your party to absorb the damage, but anyways. Yeah, that's the thing. The big heavy hitter here is the Wrecking Ball. And if you are having trouble with it, then there is a pattern, and you can set up a schedule where you attack, and then you can get everyone fully healed, that kind of thing. I guess also, yeah, there's no hope in your party, so you can't buff your defense or anything either. So yeah, you're pretty much stuck with healing, and that's about it. That's your only defense in this battle. Yeah, there we go. Fight's practically done. Not 5 stars. But yes, some very significant boosts here. We got a Crystarium expansion, but also an Omni tool.
Pulse is crawling with things like that, isn't it?
Got me. Not even the Corps has access to intel on Pulse. Soldiers in the field fight blind.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
that's.
noticed that. But don't you
The Corps is basically like a regular police, and that's sort of like saying like, oh, my local police don't have intel on like,
As long as you have a goal,
I don't know,
you can fight.
some war
You can
place.
stay alive.
But yeah, and also, since when do soldiers fight in the field? I thought no one went to Pulse except like people who got purged. But yes, upgrades. You can now upgrade things. All those random junk items you've been picking up, those have a purpose now. You can invest them into items, any item, accessory or weapon, and buff them. You can, well, let's see, what can you do with the upgrade system? There's obviously the increasing of stats. You can increase how much strength or magic the weapon gives you to buff it. But you can also transform items into new items. Once you max out their level, or I think some of them you can upgrade them before you get in max level, but I don't know. But basically, you can transform a weapon or an accessory into a new, better weapon or accessory. Usually it just means a straight upgrade, like it'll do more damage or give you more of a defense or something like that. But sometimes you get actually very unique items. You can also dismantle items and get the components from them. You can only get some things from dismantling. But yeah, now that we're actually getting into this, I think I'll actually talk about each of the characters' weapons. Lightning has the somewhat infamous Gunblade, first seen in Final Fantasy VIII, but it's been completely revamped. This Gunblade is just a blade that turns into a gun, and I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be a rifle or a shotgun or a regular pistol type thing. I don't even really know. But the point is, it's still mostly a sword. Final Fantasy VIII, basically it was a gun that you pull the trigger when you slash to do explosive damage. Saz has just standard pistols, actually. It's kind of weird. There's nothing special about them. I'm not really sure what Vanille's weapon is. It's some sort of whip, trapping, net, fishing lure, harpoon thing. I don't know. And Hope has a kind of remotely controlled boomerang. Might remember from way back when he was actually using it before he became LaCie, he would swing his arm around to redirect it. And this is basically some sort of amp to it that makes it so that Hope can actually redirect the boomerang and hit enemy multiple times with it. And also, obviously it comes back to him. And yes, last but not least, Snow's weapon is perhaps the most ridiculously stupid, most ridiculously cool weapon ever.
I do.
Snow's weapon
There.
is an antimatter powered trench coat.
Eden? The sanctum.
See, he has like some sort of power boosting emblem woven into his trench coat, which gives him super strength. That's why he can punch things, and like he's basically like the monk of this game.
Keep running. It's die or turn safe.
Antimatter powered trench coat.
No. They want to fight.
Just-
Let's take it to the
Just let that sink in.
This
That's,
isn't a game.
I don't know, some people hate it. I personally think it's really cool, but stupid.
Started with Sarah. The fal'cie took her. Now I'm a LaCie too. And the Sanctum's hunting me.
But yeah, things are starting to branch off now. Everyone's getting their own ideas of what to do now that they're,
fal'cie.
well, basically fucked.
Eden. Cocoon's sustainer and guiding light. It
You know,
probably ordered the purge too.
Whenever someone says something, anything, any game, TV show, movie, anything like that, the way Lightning said provider sustaining light or whatever she just said,
I'm not dying
it sounds
fal'cie slave.
so much like exposition,
So,
and it's so common too. It really bugs me.
Destroy it.
by yourself? Are you crazy?
Yeah, by yourself. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Not destroying literally God.
It's lights out, Cocoon.
Well, literally God. I guess we've already killed a God.
You want
Huh.
that? You're fal'cie now. You just want to snuff out Cocoon.
No! What about Sarah? She said to
Then,
save Cocoon.
what's Saz's logic here? Like, oh, you've become a fal'cie, so that makes it so you want to kill everyone.
Take orders from fal'cie. How I live is up to me.
Don't you mean how you die?
Think like that, and it's already over.
Also, Saz, you really should be
Better
saying
pick
that
your
around
path and
kids.
keep moving. Don't worry. I'm after the sanctum. I'm not out to destroy the world.
This points at a subplot that actually, in a more old-fashioned Final Fantasy, probably would have come true.
Fight Snow now?
Or
Just like that?
maybe it's just
Enemies?
referencing what happens in the trailers of Lightning Returns.
We might be too.
In fact, whoa. Yeah, it does. That's it literally, actually, the plot of Lightning Returns is pretty much what Lightning just said. Spoilers.
Lightning was suffering, reaching out to us, but none of us could see it.
Yeah, just listen to therapist Vanille here,
Snow deserves
giving you
it.
insight onto
If only I'd been stronger,
what's going on.
none of this ever would have happened.
None of this. Literally none of this.
I don't know what I should do.
That makes two of us.
So yep, now we have 3 parties going around. We have Snow on his own,
Pushing me like that.
Lightning with Hope, and Saz with Vanille. We'll see where this leads next time.